All right now, so 2 minutes after 3 in Portugal, because Lisa and myself are based in Portugal, 2 minutes after 4 in Germany, and the rest of Europe except Portugal. So a warm welcome to our webinar. So we are quite excited that you take the time and go with us through how a HubSpot add-on is bringing AI into marketing campaigns. So first of all, a short introduction. So my name is Erwin Arnold. I'm the co-founder and CEO of thalox, and I'm together with my colleague.
Yes, my name is Lisa. I'm the marketing manager here at thalox, and I want to welcome you and thank you everyone for joining us today. Yeah.
Perfect. So what do we want to cover today? So if you have any questions, please feel free to put this in the chat, and we will try to answer any of your questions. It might be that some questions could be too technical. So we are both from sales and marketing team. So we personally did not develop the solution we want to show you today. So it could happen that we have to go back to our development team and ask them. But overall, what do we want to cover today? It's really a short introduction, what we already did. And then I will talk a little bit about the challenges. So the future of email marketing and audience segmentation, and why are we using AI to help marketers become more efficient? And the last point from my short presentation is really how to increase your click-through rate using AI with HubSpot. And after that, Lisa will show you the product and walk you a little bit through the product. And after that, we can answer your question. We also can have a kind of open discussion. So we will pick some topics out of the chat and then we can discuss it. And last but not least, we have a brilliant offer for you because you can use our add-on for free for 3 predictions. And Lisa will touch base on that one a little bit later. So I hope everyone can hear us good. So maybe you can do a little bit of a reaction and say thumbs up, thumbs down. Hopefully the voice is good. Okay, sounds like that. Okay, perfect. So the challenge. So why are we here? So I founded the company in 2020 in Germany, but with a main hub in Portugal. Why Portugal? Not only because it's a nice holiday area, because you will find, or we found, quite well skilled people here. As you might know, also the Web Summit is taking place in Lisbon, which is a event with over 50,000 visitors every year. So we are quite happy about that one. And we also have good universities here in regards of marketing, in regards of artificial intelligence, stuff like that. So that was the reason why we moved in Portugal. And personally, I'm also a big Portugal fan. We are currently 5 highly motivated and purpose-driven employees. And yeah, we have over 20 years of experience in B2B. So in my former career, I was leading a company with 75 people, purely focused on marketing automation. And after I left this company, I moved to Portugal, and then I decided to start my own business. So we call it thalox, and the product we are showing today is called the thalox.engine. And the purpose of the company, why we are here, is really to make every message relevant. That's super important for us. Why? Because if you look at your inbox every day, you find a lot of emails which are waste of time. The content is not relevant. The emails are sent out on times where you say, okay, that's during my business hours. That's not good. And for sure, it seems that all the marketing automation systems out there can help you with that one. In general, that's true. But on the other hand, I think it's lacking our add-on tool to make it much simpler for us as a marketer. So we want to help marketers and marketing managers to predict their audience behavior so that they can run effective campaigns with relevant messaging using, and this is something we invented, the thalox engagement score as an add-on on the existing marketing automation tool. So the goal is for us that we really start with HubSpot, but then over the time, we are also connecting to other marketing automation systems. So this is why we are here. So the challenge, the future of email marketing and audience segmentation really starts for me in the past. So I'm in business after my studies of economics since 2000. And when I started my career, content management system was the top trend. So everyone wanted to have a new content management system. Maybe you know typo 3, etc., etc. And then over the time, all the social media stuff came up: Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, etc. So now we are dealing, and this is from 2019, as a marketer with over 8,000 tools. So, which brings us really to the challenge: how do we want to measure our challenge? How do we want to know our audience? How do we want to send out really individual campaigns? This is really the challenge we are in today. And when you look at current studies, you also see that better personalization and cross-channel data insights and better segmentation is the top three what people think moving forward must be improved in email marketing. I was on a lot of events during my career, and every year everyone said, okay, that the problem is email will go away. From my perspective, email will never go away. I think it's still a big portion and a big channel in the marketing plan, besides all the social media and LinkedIn and Xing, etc. But I think we have to be more effective in using this channel, which means we have to give the right content at the right time to our audience. And this is why we are here. This is how we want to help marketers using AI to become more efficient, to be better in their marketing skills. So where we are at the moment is, this is the world today. So input to customers. So we have data insights. We have the real world experience. We think as a marketer, we know which content is good to which audience. So what we did with a lot of agencies is we are putting together personas. We are going in our database and saying, okay, this content is for persona A, this content is for persona B, etc., etc., etc. And we think that we understand our audience, and we think that we understand our data. What we figured out during the past 2 years since we started with the software is, in very often cases, the database is not good enough. That's not a new story, because if you want to segment, for instance, at the job role, and you see that the fill rate is only 5%, you could not segment your database based on that one and send relevant content to your audience. So what we are doing with the thalox engine is really, we put together the knowledge of a channel specialist, from a business analyst and a data scientist, to put together an algorithm which predicts the future, which could predict the right content for your audience based on the knowledge or based on what we already have in the database. So what we did is, and maybe a little bit of a sidewalk, is how to increase the click-through rate using AI with HubSpot. Is really, you distinguish between two learning methods. Normally in the theory you have three, but let's focus on two. One is supervised learning, and the other one is unsupervised learning. So supervised learning really trains a model on known input and output data so that I can predict the future. And this is exactly what we are doing. So we extract the known customer data from HubSpot, like website visits, open rates, click-through rates, even unsubscribe rates. And then we put together automatically the data like job role, etc. But this is done automatically. So we do not decide which field could contribute to the model. The model is doing this. The machine learning model is doing that. And Lisa will show you also some results of our thalox engine. So, and then the thalox engine predicts the customer behavior, and we give back a thalox engagement score. We call it TES. So, and this gives you in your content the probability of clicking. So, and this is what we want to show you in the next step. Or are there any questions? Lisa, are there any questions in the chat so far?
I don't think so. If anyone wants to raise any questions before showing what we've been doing with the product, please feel free to do so. Just writing on the chat, or you can also just speak and ask your question. Just feel free to do so. But if there's nothing, we can move on.
Okay, perfect. All right, so what we want to do is to show you the thalox engine. So Lisa will show you how to register in the product, how to do a sign-in, then after the sign-in, connect to HubSpot, then create the first prediction, and also generate segments with the TES, with the thalox engagement score, and also how to push it back to HubSpot to run the campaign. And after that, we run the campaign and show you some results. So one remark from my end, we are currently in a production environment. That means the software itself is not 100% ready, which means the user interface, it's clickable, everything is working fine, and it's also live. But we are still in a kind of a beta mode, which means we want to have feedback from our customers, from our prospects, how to develop further the product. And now over to Lisa.
Okay, thank you. So I will share my screen now so you can all see it.
Yep, it's good.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. So after Irving said, so Irving already talked a lot about the way we want to integrate AI into marketing, how important segmentation and to have the right segment is, and we will show you now the best way to do it and what we've been working on. So what you have here, it's thalox engine. I will just sign in into the add-on. Oh, this always happens, right?
And it's always live.
Always live. All right, so once you're in the thalox engine, the first thing you do is to connect your HubSpot instance into thalox engine. And to do that, you go into connections, you connect, you go to setup, and then you log in into your HubSpot instance. I'm going to skip that part because I'm already logged in into my instance. I choose my account, and then I confirm the integration. Exactly. So what you saw there, by the way, like that little red mark, it says thalox engine is an unverified app. Why? Because we are still in the process of getting listed as one of the apps in the marketplace, in the HubSpot marketplace. So that should happen in a couple months. But because of that, when you run your 30 days trial with us, you will find that. But then after the connection, you are all set and ready to create your first prediction. So you just give it a name, prediction, number 1 June, for instance, and then like new summer collection campaign. Good. Campaign, something like that, something that you can relate to a campaign that you have or an email that you have already thought about in HubSpot. You go into next. This is an overview of everything to make sure that everything is fine after pressing start, and then you confirm. Now, then the system says your first prediction is now being generated. This can take, really depends on the amount of data points you have, the amount of contacts you have. So it might take 15, maybe 1 hour for the first prediction, because what is happening here, we are extracting all of your data from HubSpot. We are building the machine learning model. We are training it. So for the first time, especially, it's normal that it can take a while to give you the first results. But let's just skip that part, as they do in baking shows. You know, the thing is already here. So this actually is one of our customer thalox.engine instances, let's say it this way. So this customer was running with us a trial as well. And I'm going to show you one of their prediction results. So you just go here, for instance, open the prediction. And what you can see here is the density draft. So all of the data that we just extracted from your HubSpot, it kind of falls into 3 different buckets that we call top segment, low segment, and bottom segment. And here, so the top segment, as the name says already, is the amount of contacts that are most probably going to click on your next email, that have the highest probability of engaging with your content. So if you kind of over here, you can see, hope you can see that DES of 83%, 126 contacts. So this means that we have, out of all of your database, we have 126 contacts that have an 83% thalox engagement score. So an 83% probability of engaging with your newsletter. So the numbers or the thresholds that you have here, you can actually choose the ones you want to upload into your system. There's of course an advice from our side in terms of which thresholds you should choose. But then you have a good overview of your data here. And what happens then? And I will quickly show you the statistics, but once you have all of your data kind of divided into these 3 buckets, because the algorithm says so, you have the opportunity to upload them. I'm not going to click here because this is the customer space, but you have the opportunity to upload them as lists into your HubSpot instance. So you go here and you have the 3 lists, as any other list you usually have if you know HubSpot. So you have the top, the bottom, and the low engagement. And now this is where you really can sit down and talk with your team and think about different strategies and ways to use this. So on the top and low segments, you can run A/B testing campaigns, maybe to think about which one performs better. And also on the bottom engagement, why are this contents not engaging with your content, right? So as you can see here, the size is way above when comparing with the top and low segments, and that's actually something that we see in our customers. So because the reality is sometimes they don't know their data that well, and you have a lot of contacts that either are inactive, they are not interested perhaps in your content, so it allows you to explore that. You can run with them re-engagement campaigns. You can send an email saying, oh, we have been talking for a while, oh, we've missed you. Are you interested in receiving newsletters still? You can even sharpen their profile by actually asking them, what type of content are you most interested in? Like clothes, shoes, or sunglasses, or bags, or whatever your business is, right? And so it allows you also to really understand, okay, if I have people here that are not interested in my content, um, perhaps I just, I don't know, delete them or something like that. And it also gives me the opportunity to really find out what I have to do to make them engage more. And then that's a great opportunity to them to move up into the upper segment. So we've seen that before. Then after you discover that these are unengaged contacts, you start re-engaging with them, you discover why, and then they start engaging more with your emails, and that means more data points, more things that our algorithm is considering on in the prediction, and therefore they start also appearing in low segments and in top segments. And it is also is an opportunity for you to understand the customer journey. So if they're engaging so much in the top segment, perhaps it's a good opportunity to give them, I don't know, some 20% off on the next purchase, or trying to make them even more engaged by if they're leads to become a customer. So there's a lot of things that you can take from this. And as well as this is your first prediction, so as much predictions as you do with the thalox engine, then of course you sharpen your predictions because it becomes better. So that's the whole thing about machine learning. It becomes better and it allows you to process lots of data that otherwise you wouldn't be able to do so, because we're only humans and there's only so much thing we can do, right? So if you go back here, I can show you the statistics that you have here. So sometimes it can happen that you think, like Irvi said, you think that there's a field that is really, there is a good criteria or filtering system that you can use to segment your audience, but sometimes it's not. So what our algorithm does is automatically choose the right fields that are contributing, so have actually a positive correlation for the prediction. So here it's a little bit more technical. So here we only have 1%, for instance, of work emails, but if we go here, you can see that email address. Yeah, you can see already invalid email address. So you can see all your fields here. You can see how many of your fields are actually filled, actually have values on it. What is the variance on each one of them? So it also helps to give great insights into your data, as well as helps your overall team, because think about it. Think about how much time you're spending on manual segmentation, that it's not precise enough. So also it allows you to have AI into your marketing. So AI is not new, right? We already seen that we've seen that always. I mean, if you went to Web Summit, we were there this year or last year, and AI is everywhere. But it's the time now to really have AI into marketing. And with that said, usually those things are very expensive for the business. So it allows you to have like a data scientist just for yourself that is doing this automatically with AI capabilities that otherwise you won't be able to do because it's too expensive, really. And so it's helping marketing managers to really run effective marketing campaigns, and with the main goal of turning or becoming and helping you have the most relevant message for the right audience. And with that comes more engagement, and comes more revenue for your business at the end of the day. So that's it for the product. I would like to show, so if you have some questions or if you would like to raise a comment, please feel free to do it.
I have a comment.
Okay.
Okay, good. If you can maybe go back to the statistics, because this is what me as a marketer always interested the most. So how many contacts did we extract? So that's a very good number. So 52,000 contacts in the database. And that also shows you how powerful the system is, because when I do not have my glasses, but I can see that we extracted 10 million activities for those 22,000 records. That's correct?
900.
Exactly. So that's a bunch of data. So, and when you recall what I said at the very beginning, we as a human being, we are not able to consume this data and get a result out of that. So, and this is out of the box what we are giving out, because the system was produced from marketers for marketers, so to say, because a lot of our knowledge from Lisa and myself was flying into the product. So just one hint from my end.
Exactly. So we have the machine learning guys and the AI guys in the background, but we are always trying to build the best product for marketers. So we don't want to make this more difficult because we already have tons of tools that we have to worry about. So this should be an add-on to help you. And add one more thing to add to the hustle of the daily activity. So yeah, so this is really for marketers. Yeah, so I would like you to show, if there are any more comments or questions, I would like to show you some results from our customers, from two of our customers. So Irving will share again.
Yep, here we go.
Exactly.
Okay. Here we go.
Yeah. So here, as you already know, these numbers probably are just the average KPI rates when it comes to the main KPIs for email marketing. We have email open rates about 21%, click-throughs between 2 and 3, click to open, around 10, and subscribe rate 0.1. So this is the average KPI rates that we have, and we're taking this as a reference. And for our first company, it's actually a B2C company. So they used our 3 segments. Actually, they used the same newsletter for the 3 segments. This one was actually one of their first standouts with our results. And as you can see, you have an open rate almost double, so or more than double, actually 55%. You have a click-through rate of 19, it's a little bit small, 19.2, which is astonishing, really. The low segment, and really proves that it's working as well. So again, the feedback also helps us a lot. So in the low segment, it also matches, so 44% open rates and above 8 click-through rates. And even the bottom really has exceeded the average KPIs with the open rate of 36% and a click-through rate of 3.2. As you can see also for if you can go to the next one. This has a slightly different type of numbers. It's still very promising. It really depends, of course, then on the data you have and also on the marketing you've been running. But still, you have an open rate of 8.5%, which is much more than usually they do, with a click-through rate of 10.9%, 10.3%. The low segments also has a very good click-through rate. So engagement, we are working on engagement right now. So it has a great 4.4%. And if you see on the bottom segment, you have 0.9, I think. And this was actually a very good like sign for them that they really have to work on the bottom segments, because they have 7,000 contents that are not engaging at all. They are inactive. They're not interested. So what happened with this contents, right? So the ones they are not engaging, perhaps again re-engagement campaigns. Try to understand why. And the ones they are still engaging, try to make them really more targeted. So really asking them, what are you most interested in, so they can really target with personalized content, so they can foster their engagement and they can move up to the next segment. So that's what I wanted to show in terms of the results. Before we go into our next slide, we're about to finish our session today. I would really like to hear from you. What do you think? Your thoughts, your comments, any question that you might have, please feel free to do so. Don't be shy.
Or put it in the chat, that's also okay, or follow up with us after the webinar, that's also okay. Because I think sometimes a webinar is not so open for discussion, but feel free to contact us. I think you have our contact details in LinkedIn. And yeah, last but not least, I think, Lisa, you want to make an offer to everyone, right?
So on the next slide, and as we said to you, and I'm going to read this sentence, which is really important. Meet your customers where they are instead of guessing. Know your customer data. Allow your marketing team to be more effective and without spending too much time because we are offering automated segmentation with the AI capabilities. And lastly, but certainly not least, allow yourself to send the relevant message to your audience. That's the only thing you can have a better engagement with them and also contribute for a long-lasting relationship with your customers. So that's just as a final note, and for sure we want to welcome you all for a 30 days trial for free. So in that 30 days trial, you can try, do your predictions, do your campaigns, and also give us feedback about what do you think about the whole product. So I will ask you, so you have here this page, I think, yeah, of course I linked it, so it's pinned in the comment section. So it's engage.thalox.com/make your message relevant, and in there you have a form, so you can contact us by the form. We will follow up with you right after to go through with you like the whole registration process and helping you to create your first prediction, or you will also receive an email afterwards, and you can also schedule at your convenience. So which one suits you best? And yeah, would you like to add something, Irene?
No, I'm super happy. I think I really would like to welcome you because we want to learn as a company. As I said it before, in my previous job, we were implementing marketing automation systems, which took at least 1 month because those systems were monsters, so to say. And yeah, the thalox engine is installed, as you can see, in a very quick time. The only thing you have to be is a super admin, or you ask your IT team to be a super admin that you can grab the data, and then you're ready to go. So we are yeah, welcoming every new customer we can have. All right, then yeah, the only thing we can say is thank you, obrigado, and bye-bye.